Unico has an update, Media1up has a leak, Stern releases X-Men, and everyone loses their mind, and Acade1up just decides to start over. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Another episode of This Week, the show where we talk about what happened in the world of home arcades and the home arcade community. What is going on, everybody? I'm so happy to have you here. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend, most importantly, their football weekend. First real weekend of NFL football play started. It was crazy. It was all kind of crazy. We had a game played in Brazil. That's not America. What is it? That's odd. It's really messed up. But it is what it is. I guess they're trying to expand around the globe. They've had games in London and Mexico City and now Brazil. I don't know. Whatever. It's crazy. The game should be played in America because everybody else is calling football something else. It's just weird. I don't know. I don't like it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But what does make a lot of sense to me is having a glass of something special at the end of long, hard week and work weekend, depending on how you do your weekends. I do a lot of work during the weekends, get a lot of work done. I'm sure a lot of you do the same thing. Tonight, I am sipping on, I decided to go ahead because the Cowboys won. We did have a win tonight. That was very good. I cracked open a bottle of Basil Hayden toast. And this is probably my favorite. My favorite bourbon under $50 this is just it. This is what I go to. Jefferson's is definitely the budget version of my favorite. I guess if I had like two tiers or maybe multiple tiers, my favorite bourbon under 30 is going to be Jefferson's under $30. My favorite bourbon under $50 is going to be Basil Hayden toast. I just really like it. Of course, the price does fluctuate some, but a great bourbon, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. Let's kick back. Let's have a sip. Let's get into the show, shall we? A lot of weird stuff to discuss this weekend. A lot of weird stuff happened last week. Yes, the Cowboys did win. Cincinnati Bengals did not. That was kind of disappointing for sure. They just kind of didn't show up to play. It was kind of weird. But I hope your team did show up to play. What else is showing up to play is the poll question. That's right. Every single week in the chat, we have a poll question talking about some of the stuff that happened this week. If you don't know exactly what we're talking about, don't answer the poll question until we cover it in the show tonight. Here's the question tonight. A lot of you have decided to go ahead and jump in and make your voices heard and go ahead and vote. We got 45 votes so far. Kind of a simple question. Like I said, if you don't know what we're talking about, we'll cover it tonight. But here is the poll question. If the Media1up leak is real, what do you think? You got four options. One is, hey, I'll buy both. The second one is I'll buy just the Street Fighter 3 version. Third option is I'll pass. They look too much like Oneups. And then number four is I'm going to pass because I want something different. So let me know what you think about that. Kind of a lopsided result so far, but we'll see how everything shake up by the end of the show. Once again, guys, gals, so glad you're here. A lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of fun stuff going on in my arcade. To catch you up on what's going on in my arcade, what I've been doing over this past weekend and week. So I was on the road all week doing some sales calls, traveling on the East Coast. Let's see, we started off in New Jersey, went to Long Island, went over to Philadelphia. I did go to, went past Scranton and went up to Carbondale. And, I checked all the gas stations. None of them had fresh yams. So weird. Then we came back down through Philly and then went all the way down to Washington, D.C., saw a couple clients. I had fun. It was kind of cool. It's kind of a different thing. I don't normally do that kind of stuff. So it was kind of fun to go on that little sales trip, meet some customers and all that good stuff. Spent some time with a pretty cool sales guy. So I had a good time. Not bad. But I did miss out on getting some work done here in the arcade. When I got back, I've just decided to go ahead. I took some pictures. Well, there's one picture up on my social media and a community post. And I just decided, instead of trying to make something work on my project, I just said, to hell with it. I'm going to make something new. Talking about that control panel. I just didn't want to modify it. I didn't like the way it was going to turn out. So I said, you know what? The hell with it. We're just going to start from scratch. So that was a big kind of leap forward. Wiring is done. So waiting on one piece of artwork. And then that project's going to get wrapped up this week. And that video is going to be done so I can show you what I've been working on. I'm excited to get that together because it's one of my favorite games for sure. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, one of my favorite arcade games. And now it's going to be back in my arcade. Okay, other sad things to report. Crazy Taxi is still down. The monitor is still down. And I have not quite been brave enough to plug in Road Blasters yet. I think I'm almost at the point where it's really just time to plug it in. I'm just afraid. I'm scared. But it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right because I have you here to comfort me. And who am I talking about? Well, let's go ahead and say hi to everybody in the chat. At least the top 10, the first 10 people. Who will it be? The show went up kind of late today. It was around right at noon-ish. So let's see if who was paying attention, who jumped in, who chimed in, and coming in the number one slot. You definitely want to make sure you cemented your spot, Sir Sega. And it is Sir Sega indeed with the top 3 comments. We'll go ahead and read them all. I think they're almost the same one. Yo, Fox, winner chicken dinner. Hope you get, let me see. I think this is the one. Yeah, there's a typo in the second one. So you hit me up in the third time. Hope we get our Unico soon. I'm tired of waiting. Absolutely. We're going to talk about that tonight for sure. Coming in the number 2 spot is Game Broker 84. What's going on, buddy? Hi, Fox. Happy Sunday. If the leaks are true, do you really think a 9/10 scale arcade from Media1up really could be $599 with a 19-inch monitor and upgraded controls? To me, the price would seem higher. That's an almost full-size arcade machine. Even if it's just rocking a 19-inch monitor, $599 doesn't seem right to me. I mean, we've seen like the XLs, they're not 9/10 scale, whatever the hell that would be. They're actually more of a true 3/4. So I think that, and even they're coming in at $599, but that's Acade1up. That's not the better controls. That's not branded anything, right? I just don't see that being a possibility. I don't know, and I doubt that this is going to be something that actually just goes to retail. This could be just a direct to consumer type deal. I don't know, but it seems 9/10 scale with all that stuff does seem a little bit too good to be true. Thanks so much for being here, Game Broker, as always. Coming in the number 3 spot. We've got Darth Penguin 66 in the house. Order 66. Come on. Let those Jedi live. May the 4th be with me. Well, you're in 3rd. So take that. I don't know what that means. Coming in the true 4th spot is Angelo P. What's going on, buddy? Thank you so much for being here. Even Fox and Chap, there are so many affiliate programs to join. Acade1up, Media1up, App Games, Unico, and now Stern. Which ones will you choose? For me, the only one I've chosen is New Wave Toys, and they just haven't emailed me back. That's the only one I've applied for, and they won't even email me back. I think they gave the last one to Steps Gaming. So thanks, Steps. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Frank D is coming in the number 5th spot. What's going on, buddy? I'm excited because I'm making chicken legs for dinner tonight. I'm going to season them with Parmesan, garlic, black pepper, Italian seasoning, and some butter. Damn. Why are you telling me this now? You've probably eaten them already. Did you bring enough for everybody? Come on, Frank. You can't be just talking about this and have nothing to share with anyone. Coming in the number 6 spot. And sadly, no chicken legs to see. No chicken wings either. Legs, wings, ears, nothing. Is Dan Z saying hello, Fox, wink, punch, boom. Good to see you, man. As always, coming in the number 7 spot is JR. What's going on, buddy? Another good, proud member of the 19K Fox channel. If you want to become a member, look down here somewhere. Forget what, I think it's about right here-ish. And you'll see the join button. Smash it. Become a member. It's only $5 a month, and you're going to get access to the after show and also special videos just for members. This week I had one go up, and it was a kind of a behind the scenes sneak peek at what's going on with my project. About an 8-minute video, and you're only going to get that stuff if you're a member. So consider it for sure. JR says, hey, everyone. Good to see you, man. As always, thank you so much for being here and continuing to support the channel. JJ is coming in the coveted number 8 spot. All the spots are coveted. But I mean, it is what it is. Everybody gets a trophy here. JJ, another member of the channel, saying, hey, 19K Fox, looking forward to the show as usual. Do you think the John D. Media1up leaked ad was bogus or legit? Some have said the quality and design is crap, lending credence to it being a hoax. We're going to talk about that tonight. I have some thoughts. I'm going to tell you what my initial reaction was, and maybe where I am now, if I'm any different than my initial reaction. Thank you so much for being here. Coming in the number 9 spot is Zero Cool. I'm starting to believe that maybe you've got some cool. So you meant to change your name. Zero Cool. This isn't going to do it. Hey, I'm number 10. I made the cut this time. No, you're number 9, buddy. You came in super close, but you know, under the line for sure, under the radar. And it's so good to see you. Almost as good to see a super chat in the amount of $5 from Kevin Clausen. Is it just $5? Is it a super sticker? Roll this up here. Let me see what we got, buddy. You probably got a super. There it is. No, that's not it either. I'm sorry. I had to go and look up at the chat to see if this is a sticker. It's not. It's just $5. Kevin, buddy, I love you. But just $5? No message? You know where you got to go? To the pit.
Finish him. Melina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
So difficult. So difficult. But it had to be done. It's the right thing to do. Let the money speak for itself. Well, that's fine. Point taken. You're gonna have to watch. You just walk that off. You're fine. You're fine. It's no big deal. Okay. All right. So that's the top 10. Everybody else, so glad to see you. We got Jonathan Bolin. We got Milkman Classic. We've got Dark Empire. We got Jason, the greatest moderator in the business here. Huge Success Guild. Mr. Clutch. Molar Medic is in the house. Random One. Dan Z. Chris Kaz. Thanks so much for being here, man. The Cornercade guys. Let's go. Let's go. Jim Pacers fan is in the house. Jolly Green, the Mean Machine. How you doing? Not convinced the leak is real. Looks fake. Who knows? Who knows, buddy? Thank you so much for being here. T-Slayer. John J is in the house talking about how them Cowboys. We're going to the Super Bowl, guys. I say that every year. I say that every year, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. Another thing I love to say, besides we're going to the Super Bowl, is here's another super chat. This one's $2 coming in from Riddick. And it is a this emoji and drink and cheers. And man, Riddick, that is all kind of good stuff. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for a $2 super chat. I'm going to give out, I'm doing something special just for you. Expert dancing. Check it out. Vanilla ice. I don't know if that's a gift or if that's a punishment. But thank you so much for being here as always, man. Make sure I kind of try to say, hey, hi there. But hey, Andy, good to see you, man. Matrix? I'm not going to attempt your first one. Goofy Foot as always, throwback. Tyler, what's going on, my brother? Gramps Arcade, Snow Doves, my brother. Boom, good to see you. As always, thank you so much for being here. I didn't see, did your Seahawks win, buddy? Or are they playing Monday? I don't remember if the Seahawks played or not. Arcade Dave is in the house. Chris NXNW, North by Northwest, is here. MSU Rich, Decadent Dave, so many awesome people in the chat. Mike Hawkerts is here saying hi. Always good to see you. Biggie D is up in his house. We're 13 minutes in. I got to quit saying hi to everybody. Is Real Gaming? How you doing? Hello there, 19K Fox and all Arcadians. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Yes, you are amongst friends. JT Brunick is here always. Okay, everybody. Just want to, whoa, hey, hold on. We got to slow everything down. When you got celebrities in the house, it's always good to throw them a bone. And it's even better when they throw you a bone. In this case, a super chat for me, for my good friend, Drunk 3PO. Met this guy many moons ago. He's the one that got me in the arcade game, the YouTube game and the YouTube scene. So it's his fault. He just hit 100,000 subscribers this past week, a few days ago. It is an awesome milestone, brother. I wish you all the success in the world. You've been a really good friend, really good constant in my life. Great to see you as always. But unfortunately, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. We're gonna break with tradition. I'm sending you where you need to go. You're going to the pit too.
Finish him. Melina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
Had to be done. Okay, everybody. So we're talking about a lot of stuff tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you much for the super chats already. We know what I'm talking about. We know what we're drinking. We got the poll question. Make sure you jump up there and vote in that. Let me know what you're thinking about. Let me know what your thoughts are as far as that goes. But let's go ahead and slide into the first topic. Unico, another update. Here we go. So this is turning into a full-time job, of which I'm not being compensated. But it's okay, because I'm excited about this product. I'm excited about the Nova Blast. I'm excited really more for the arcade monitors that we've got out there that we, are really waiting to be made whole. What am I talking about? I'm talking about those little boards on the back, the controller boards for those monitors. Now, when the 26-inch arcade monitor came out, it was not exactly right. It was about 90% there, maybe 80, maybe 75, a good 75% there. But there was a chunk that was missing. There were some compatibility issues, adjustments in brightness and color saturation, all that stuff was lacking in that first wave, that first iteration of the 26-inch monitor. But beyond that, there were a lot of good things, but we were definitely left waiting. Now, I've got one in my Cruising World cabinet still. The color is great, looks amazing, but it is, missing some of the picture. It's cropped on the bottom, and there's just no way to get that out. The one I have in my Outrun 2 cabinet looks good, but it really washes out when this, like the sun effect hits. The brightness just kind of gets out of control. There's no way to really dial that back. The digital input doesn't really do much. It's actually kind of sad. So a lot of these problems had to be addressed. There was other compatibility issues with some JAMA boards. I think Mr. was having problems too. So there's some stuff that need to be corrected for sure. So once again, we have another update from Unico. It's a one. I think it's pretty much a one-man show as far as the social media goes over there. So I'm doing my best to try to help out and spread the word. So here is the latest and greatest from Unico, from their website. I'm not from their website, but from their Facebook page. This was 3 days ago. Let's go over this briefly. This is what it says. We know everyone has concerns related to the ULM26 replacement converter board. This is the converter board for those 26-inch monitors. All links have been emailed to or replied, asked for your order number, etc., to send you the link for shipping costs. So it's a wordy way of saying basically they were going to send us emails with links to go ahead and pay just for the shipping for these little boards, and they were going to send them to you. $20 each. They're $20 each. If you received this request, please reply as soon as possible. So if you did finally get your email, which I did, I was able to get my email, and I did reply with I'm going with 2 because I really have more than that, but I don't currently have more than 2 monitors, so I didn't really see the need in getting more than 2 boards. So I included the original order numbers for those 2 monitors, sent those in, and sent those back, and I'm waiting for a reply. Now, basically, this link. If you go to their website, you'll see this link actually exists. You can actually go to the Unico USA website and go to the Phoenix monitors, and then go all the way down to, you see the different monitors, the 26, the 19, the 17. There's a 26-inch for Europe, and then next to that, it just says shipping costs $20. You can click on that, and you can pay them $20, I guess, for nothing if you want. But that's basically the thing that they're linking us to, and as long as we include our order number, original order number, they're going to send us a new board. Now, should you be paying $20 for this replacement board? I don't necessarily think so. I think this should be shipping out to everybody for free, or maybe the shipping cost should only be like $5 maybe. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. When it comes to things like my Midway arcade cabinet, my Midway, my Outrun cabinet, it's okay. It's fine. The washout is annoying, but it's not bad. But when we're talking about my Cruising World cab, there's parts of the screen that are missing. And that I would consider that to be broken for the most part. I can't see the whole image. So I should get that without any cost whatsoever. It is what it is at this point. We're going to go ahead and just rock with it, what we got. Let's go back to the message. It says, if you receive this request, please reply as soon as possible. Okay, this is where we need to pay attention. This is where when I spoke to Unico, the representative, I told them they need to make sure that they note this very clearly. We have like 40 units on the web store that do not have a new converter board. So when you buy, he says they say like 40. Well, I don't know what that means. Like 40, is it 35? What is it? Are they going to have some kind of disclaimer on the actual item when you purchase it? That remains to be seen. What was fixed on the 26-inch converter board, and this is where he goes into the things that were fixed on the converter board, but I'm more concerned with the current inventory, the current stock, because we need to know, and it needs to be clearly spelled out, what you're buying when you buy this monitor. Now, from what I've been told, we've talked about this, they're supposed to include these boards maybe in the box. Maybe they won't install them, but they'll include them in the box when you buy your monitor. But that has to be spelled out in writing on your listing and when you make your purchase, in my opinion. That way we know what we're getting. You shouldn't have to worry about, having to go back and pay extra shipping to get the right board. It just doesn't make any sense. But beyond those 40 or whatever that number is, they're going to install these brand new boards on the back of all new monitors. And here's what this new board is going to do for you. Here's what's going to be included in that. And here's what they fixed on the board. They have actual potentiometers now on the back of the board, something they did not have before. They were added to control brightness, color, contrast, and saturation when you connect it to the RGBS to an Acade PCB. So when you connect your PCB and you connect that video input, there will actually be potentiometers that you can dial in those color and brightness and saturation. Really, the saturation and brightness is what I'm concerned with. Everything else seemed to be okay, but the brightness and saturation really needed to be fixed. The temporary fix he's talking about now, this is what I highlighted in my video when I did the 19-inch monitor install, was you had to wire in these resistors in line with the colors, with the red, blue, and green colors. And it was fine. It wasn't a pain, but it really is not, it's not correct, right? You shouldn't have to require this to install this monitor. But they also fixed the auto detection for boards, which is very, very important. The ability to resize and move video images. So it's going to auto detect the signal coming in and better fix that or fit that to the actual 26-inch 4x3 image. The fixes to the HDMI VGA better controls to adjust the brightness, color, contrast, saturation, along with image resize and moving all the issues that were reported before. This is the rest of it here. Now, this is when they get into the shipping. There is a cargo ship with units that will have it installed. So when the ship gets here in mid-October or late September, it's supposed to have new monitors with the new boards installed. So this won't be a problem. So they have remaining stock that doesn't have the board. The new ones coming in are going to have the board installed, and they're also going to have boards shipped loose to go to all regular customers, existing customers. And then if you buy one of these 40 that don't have the board, they'll include that in the box. That's my understanding. It will be listed on the store's description, new converter board installed. So when you go, and this is where this is important, when you go and you buy a monitor, it will actually have this noted as new converter board installed. So they're going to make that designation. They're supposed to, right? The first customers of Nova Blast should receive them close to the end of September, barring any customer issues. They will continue to arrive. They will continue to arrive into October 2024, according to when orders are made. We value the customers. We apologize for details. Okay, we hope that you can forgive us and understand. This was for the best for the Nova Blast and your customers. And let's get into that just a little bit. So I'm glad that they did fix some issues with the actual monitor before the Nova Blast was shipped. But there's also some discussion to be had about the base. Now, the base, if you remember, had one big swinging door in the initial prototype, and I think that was not ideal, but that was fine. They did change that to 3 doors, which I think is good, but that's not really necessary. That shouldn't have really held up shipping, in my opinion. But we did have some other conversations, and yes, so late September is when the first orders of Nova Blast cabinets should be shipping from the U.S. to your home. So you should be receiving those at the end of September, and all the way throughout the first, the middle, and the end of October until everybody who pre-order one gets one. Now, yes, we have heard the song and dance before. We've heard these July and August and all these things just kind of slip by. I can't help that. I don't work for the company. I don't control any of the shipping or anything. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing and what they're posting on their social media, trying to keep everybody up to date because this is something that I've been a real big fan of. I'm a huge fan of candy cabs. I have one. A lot of you out there have one. And this is a great way for people who are fans of candy cabs to get their hands on something very similar to that form factor. It is a fun way to play. You get a couple stools. I got a couple from Amazon. You don't have to buy the ones from Unico. And you can sit down. It's a nice way to play. Just sit down, relax, and play. And if you get a little bit older, like some of us are, the knees are, not what they used to be. So it's nice to be able to sit down and play. It's a relaxing way to play these games. But to say that they have to nail this ship date, to say that they have to make right on this, to say that they have to get everything perfect from here on out is kind of goes without saying. They've got some ground that they've got to make up, but it's not like it can't be done. It can absolutely be done, but it's going to require a focus, and then it's going to require, them to be on top of the game moving forward, and I think that they know that. I hope that they do. I think that everybody's patience has kind of been wearing thin, but I will say that if the new product is equal to or better than what I saw in Kansas City, I think it is going to be worth the wait. I just wish that maybe they wouldn't have even allowed pre-orders to be taken until the cabinets were actually in the country. Now, I know with financing and behind the scenes, who knows exactly how all this went down. I'm sure they had to have the pre-order money before they could maybe start producing these, making these. They have to have some kind of order saying, see, we have all these orders. It's a big leap of faith to make all these cabinets and then ship them and have them sitting in a warehouse somewhere in the US and then take pre-orders. But at least that would be, a little more solid, a little more predictable. You don't have to worry so much about these delays. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's the latest and greatest. Will they hit this shipping date? Damn, I sure hope so. Okay, moving on to very, very affordable arcade hardware, something that is very accessible. Anybody can get their hands on, and that is Stern Pinball. I know I don't usually cover Stern Pinball, not because it's not awesome, not because it's not quality, highly sought after, and of course it has some of the richest arcade pedigree of any company out there. That's not why I don't cover them. I don't cover them because I'm just not going to buy one. I really don't have any plans to buy a Stern pinball machine. They're very expensive, and I just don't. I like pinball. I don't love pinball, and I think you really got to love pinball to order a Stern pinball machine. So X-Men, based on the animated series, was introduced this week. It was announced. It came out for pre-orders. I think the limiteds are already been sold, but here's the cabinets, or the machines, and the different variations. And here's the price points. Something that maybe, I don't know that everybody really talks about a lot, but this is some of the reasons why I get discouraged and I can't really get too hyped about Stern, is because I don't care how awesome and beautiful and wonderful and great and fun these things are. You do get to a point where it's just out of the reach of most people. And that's fine. These are professional machines. These are not for home use. The home use machines are much more affordable, between $4,000 and $5,000. Still expensive, but a little bit more. I think it's within the realm of possibility for most people. These machines, not so much. So why are you talking about this one? Well, it's X-Men. X-Men, based on the animated series. I absolutely love the animated series. And when I saw these machines, I was like, damn, this is the most tempted I've ever been to actually purchase one of these. So let's just look at them real quick. X-Men, the Pro is the cheapest version. And then they have the premium and the limited. You can see the prices, $7,000, damn near $10,000 for the premium, and then $13,000. I'm sorry, hard to say that without laughing. But $13,000 for the limited edition. That's going to be limited to, I think, 811. And the prices are insane. And listen, I'm a big John Wick fan, but when I saw that table, I didn't just fall in love with it. This limited machine, I was like, oh my God, this thing is gorgeous. This thing looks beautiful. This thing looks amazing. So I'm not going to go over and play the whole video. We're not going to talk about this a ton tonight, but this is just a great looking pinball machine. And the gameplay looks absolutely insane. So you're going to be missing some of the stuff if you go with the Pro. But once you step up to the premium and the limited edition, you're going to get all the bells and whistles. And there's so much going on. You got the Sentinel head that pops up. You got the Sentinel hands that actually, it's weird. If you look at the play field, these two hands, like one hand will actually break the rail that you're riding on. The other hand has a finger that pops up and shoots the ball back. It rejects the ball back to you. And there's three flippers. You can kind of see it in the middle there. There's three flippers. You got the main flippers that are off to one side, kind of off to the right. And you have a third flipper off to the left. And it's purple. Come on, man. All that stuff is like bass boat glitter purple. It looks just absolutely beautiful. And I'm not the biggest fan of purple. But this thing, it just fits. It fits the theme of this so well. This looks so good. And yes, this is a real pin, Chris. It's a real pin. I like the mini playfield down there, the left. Yeah, there's so much to love here. Yes, go Dolphins. Go Dolphins. This is great. It's a great looking machine, but $1,299, $13,000, $13,000 on Stern pinball or a motorcycle. I'll choose the bike, just saying. it's a good looking machine, right? This is beautiful, but yeah, $13,000. I think on in the used markets, if you can, you're gonna have to wait a little while for these to become available. But yeah, 13,000 brand new for a limited edition is just insane. But it's purple. It's purple. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit crazy for sure. And it goes back to priorities, right? If you're talking about 13 grand, and if you're thinking about buying a motorcycle, yeah, I wouldn't. You can't really compare the two. This is definitely pursuing your passions to the highest, like nth degree, right? Some people are going to go with, okay, let's take us for example. So Acade1up comes in and they bring us these small recreations, and it's enough. It's enough to scratch the itch for a lot of people. A lot of people are like, hey, this is all I need. I'm good. I'm good. It's not the real thing, but it doesn't have to be, and that's fine. They did the same thing with the pinball. They brought a little bit of pinball action in. Okay, this is kind of cool. I like it. It's $500, $600. I can deal with this. This is fun. It's scratching that itch for me. But for some people, they have to have the realest of the real and the best of the best. And so when you put those two together, that equals $13,000, I guess, is what that equals 13 grand. That's how much that costs. But no, it's to each his own. But I just realistically speaking, for me, I have more fondness for some of the arcade games, and I obviously of the 80s and the 90s. But some of those pinnacle games really hit me in the 90s, where I'm like, I have to have that. I have to have that particular cabinet. I want that. Things like the Candy Cab, it's an experience that until the Nova Blast came on the scene, and of course you had the Vulix and the Chulix, this was a very unique gaming experience. The same can be said for Stern pinball machines. If you're a purist, if you love those, and if you're a big fan of X-Men, which I totally get that, man, I'm telling you what, this is a great looking machine. And maybe you've never bought anything before, maybe you go to pinball, you play a lot of pinball in your local arcade, and you've only got space for one, and you've been waiting for that one game. This may be it. This may be it. And if you decide you want to get it, I'm not going to give you a hard time. But I am going to say, hey, can I come over? Okay, half the show is gone. We got to keep moving. We got to talk about some of the juicy stuff, right? Spider-Man, I think. I don't know about you guys. I would buy this and see. Well, there you go. Not everybody wants a motorcycle. If this is your thing, this is really what you're into, then this is what you're going to gravitate towards. This is what you're going to go for. I mean, and this could be the pinnacle. This could be the perfect combination of IP and pinball. But it's just not for me. I think this looks great, but I just can't go there. I can't go there with the price. It's just a little bit crazy. But yeah, Justin will probably have all three. Because Console Kits loves him some pinball. He's got a hell of a collection. And I think he's actually got one of these. I think he's got one of these on order. I don't think he got the LE. I'm thinking he got just a premium. I say just a premium. Oh, what? Only $10,000? Y'all are crazy. Of course, I say that now, but yeah, Devastator, absolutely. I need Dak's new contract money to buy that pinball machine. Yeah. I think we could probably take Dak's new contract and maybe spend it, take that money and just spread it around, and everybody could have one. Like all of the people, like everybody in this chat, everybody in everybody else's chat. A lot of people can have this. We had Dak's money, $60 million a year. When I heard that, I was like, Tom Brady has got to be pissed off. He's like, really? Man's got all the rings. Dak ain't got one. Dak ain't won an NFC championship game, and he's making all that money. Tom Brady, you just try too hard. So moving right, yeah, it's a beautiful X-Men pinball machine. It really is. It's beautiful. I really do like it. It's awesome. But man, I just can't afford it. Dak didn't earn that extension. He should be locked up 2 playoff wins. I wouldn't have spent the money. I think Jerry Jones just wants to get a championship before he dies. And so he's just freaking out. Dak died on off. That's not the real Dak. Dolphins blowing in the water, not flapping around on the concrete in cuffs. Yeah, see? Y'all lost your mind. Yeah, Dak's not worth the money. I listen, I'm a Cowboys fan, but come on. That's crazy. Anyone but Dak deserves that money. And now the Niners will be faced with paying Purdy that, well, yeah, that's how it works. That's how everything works. Let's talk about something else and how it works. And it's competition. So this week it became officially official. We heard about this unofficially months ago. John D was working on something. Okay, I'll take this comment. Yes, pay him. Every play he's in, he makes an impact. And so does this guy in the home arcade community. Media1up, John D. We've heard about this for a while. John D was going to do something. He was going to develop his own company. What was the company going to look like? Was he just going to make one-ups? Was he going to get the licenses that maybe one-up couldn't get? It was very unclear. And then he showed up at that conference, that licensing conference, that he had his name over his name tag, But we did find out that Media1up LLC was his company, and he finally threw it out there and said, hey, everybody, here it is. Here's the logo, a John D joint. Come check it out, just like Michael Scott. But it's exciting that he's been able to announce it, the company itself. I was able to go on last week. I think it was Monday. It must have been Monday night. Saturday night, one of those nights. No, it was Monday night. It was Monday night. I went on Mike B's channel, and we were able to talk about this. And he had some insight from John that John allowed him to share. And it's exciting because he's doing something. Now, I don't know what is he going to bring to the table. I've heard some stuff, but I don't have any concrete information. So what's he going to bring? That's the question. You announced the company. That's great. But what are you going to bring us? What are you going to show us? John, everybody's salivating for some competition for Acade1up, something new, something different, something more authentic, maybe a lot of stuff. Everybody has a laundry list of wants goes a mile long. I think one of the biggest things is going to be a new game. So everybody's salivating over that. Also, if you weren't paying attention, or maybe you don't know, he has this very sketchy looking logo on the right-hand side. The OG Media1up global fan page, which looks fake, but it's actually not fake. Hey, Steve, there he is. Everybody say hi to Steve. Steve made me a very honest deal on a New Wave Toys coin changer with the wood grain on the side. This thing is in great condition. He made me a fair deal. I took him up on it. So thanks, Steve, for allowing me to purchase that and get that into my collection, because I've been jonesing for that. So I'm going to have that, and I'm going to have the the faux cigarette dispenser. Have those right next to each other, maybe off to one side, maybe separated by a couple machines. That's going to be awesome. So thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. But yeah, so there's also a fan page on Facebook. If you see this very sketchy, very fake looking logo, that's actually him. So go ahead and join. That's what I did. And I'm over there, and it's sketchy to say the least. So there's that. So Media1up is out there, and like the name, don't like the name, not really sure. But we had a little video about it. We're talking about what you can expect, what's coming out, some of the meaning behind some of the logos. Talking about Media1up and how it's another life, it's another chance. The green one, with the mushroom, and the red version was kind of like the antithesis of Acade1up, red versus blue type thing. So there's a lot of discussion about that. And then it didn't take long. It didn't take long for the first leak from this new startup company to come out. Here it is. So immediately when this thing was leaked, John took to social media to say this is absolutely fake. This is fake. But before he'd said that, I saw this. Many of you saw it. It made the rounds. And I lost $50 because I told P-Dubs. So I was talking to a bunch of them. And I'm like, oh, that's real. Oh, yeah, that's got to be it. That's got to be it. And they were like, nah, ain't no way. I said, man, P-Dubs, I'll bet you $50. That's got to, look at it, right? That's got to be real. And then John D came out and said it wasn't. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he's lying. Maybe he's trying to throw us off the scent. Maybe this really is real. But then I started to take a closer look. And you start looking at this thing like, well, there's some problems here. So there's only two ways we can go. We can say, okay, it's real or it's not real. That's all I don't know. I haven't seen anything that's like final. Months and months ago, we had conversations and talking about this and talking about that. But I don't know. I don't really know. Like, I don't know what the final thing is. So is this it or not? I really don't know. So You could say it's fake. You say it's real. If it's fake, well, then it's just fake. That means that somebody took the time. If this is fake, somebody took the time to put, because the original picture, I think, had this flyer on somebody's desk. So this is an actual thing somebody printed out. So somebody had to take the time to make a flyer, and you can kind of barely see the Media1up down, the logo down low on the very bottom right-hand corner. And they had to take the time to make this and then just take a picture, which is not the hardest thing in the world to do. I mean, you can go on Photoshop and you can pretty much make anything. I mean, all these logos next to the cabinets are available. I mean, you can go grab those. Those images are just free. They're just out there. So you can grab those. You can put those on the paper. Of course, the font. You can type everything. So I mean, it's not like it couldn't be done. It could obviously be done. And both of these cabinets look strikingly similar to the Street Fighter Deluxe. You know, they really do. They don't, the overall shape, kind of the same, you know, slight alterations. I think the coin door is really blacked out. But they could have just done that. Who knows? I don't know. They could have just stuck these in there. And then you've got Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which looks exactly like, that cabinet looks exactly like the cabinet that I built, minus the blue T molding. So somebody added blue T molding instead of black. Okay, well, you could do that in Photoshop. I mean, it's not that it can't be done. Street Fighter Third Strike is in there with the green T molding. So it's possible it could be made. But a lot of this stuff has stuff we've also, it's information we've kind of heard about too, because at first glance, I'm like, oh, this just looks like something John would do. Look at all the Capcom stuff. He loves fighting games. This is probably legit. And maybe he had this at that licensing convention. Maybe he was at the licensing convention and he had some of these flyers. He was handing them out, you know? Is that the way business is done now? I don't really know. I have no idea. Maybe he was shopping these around. Maybe he's trying to go to retailers and get this thing in retail. I guess it's possible. Who knows? But yeah, like I said, it looks like something John would do. And then that's when I started to change my tune a little bit, because it does look like something John would do. As far as like the common knowledge out there, everything in this is something that's been talked about on live streams. It's been discussed. This has been topics of conversations by multiple people, not just me and the other guys in the space, but other channels too. And right after the big rumor was, I remember this being a rumor and other people talking about it. I never really thought much about it, but it was Street Fighter 3, because at Fighters Evo this year, Street Fighter 3 was a big focus of that of Evo that year. It was a big deal. That game was coming back. And then one of the greatest moments in Evo history was a Street Fighter 3 match, Ken versus Chun-Li. I forget who the actual gamers were, but those were two characters on screen. So, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of, it just seems like common knowledge to me. Everything. And of course, the Dynamo HS5 design, we all know that that's something that I'm a big fan of, but John's also been like a big fan of. That's been talked about on streams. Yeah, so it's not really a stretch to think that maybe this would have been something. Oh, well, John would do this. So if I was to, I guess my thing is this: if you had to guess what you thought John D was coming out with, this really wouldn't be surprised. You would probably guess this. Like, you would probably say, "Oh, okay, well, yeah," because he had a hand in that first XL that was going to come out, the Killer Instinct, you know. But before they did Killer Instinct, it was going to be Street Fighter, and we all saw the mock-up, right? That picture's gone around. I've shared it. Other guys on channels, that they've shared it. So that was original, right? That was going to be the first one, and then they switched it up and went to KI. So it's almost like a no-brainer. It's like if you were told, listen, I want you to make up what you think John D is going to come out with. This is almost like what everybody thinks is going to happen. It's very Capcom. Obviously, everybody knows his relationship with Capcom. He would be doing something a little bit different with the Street Fighter 3 and then Red Earth. You know, it's kind of something different. That's those are some fighting games from the CPS3 era, you know, so that's definitely possible. Weird that it would be different cabinets for sure. And considering, and this is another thing you got to think about. This is where I really started to think, okay, this is almost too much on the nose. Then you start thinking about the move this would be, right? To make this move now. And let's say you're John D, or you're somebody like John D. You've got a really good relationship with Capcom. That means you know what Capcom's probably going to be releasing. You've talked to the licensees and you know what they're coming out with. They just released a whole bunch of stuff going to every console out there that includes every single one of these games. I think minus Street Fighter 3. But I mean, this first cabinet on the left, all those games are available for download, for physical media purchase. It's even going to come. I mean, you look at that whole games list, you take that plus Punisher, and that's basically the new fighting collection they got coming out, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. So, like, right off the bat, you're making something that's already been done. I mean, this games list has already been done by Acade1up. I think it's actually going to Xbox. I thought I heard that. I don't know. But so this seems a little bit too on the nose. And I mean, honestly, even if this was an XL version that had a 19-inch monitor, why would anybody really buy it? I mean, maybe somebody would, but is it going to be a huge seller? I mean, the appetite for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 has already been whetted. Like, that's already been done. Like, Acade1up knocked it out apart with John D's help. They brought that to market, and that got celebrated. Everybody was happy about it. And then all of a sudden, it was re-released, and you could buy it. It's going to be a part of this compilation. There's this new compilation coming out. The Marvel vs. Capcom series is coming out. And so there's more ways to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 than ever. I just don't see the wisdom of making this. And then to also have, if you're talking about Street Fighter 3, why would it be on a separate cabinet? I mean, I would think to sell the other games, you'd have to include Street Fighter 3 on that cabinet. I think they'd all have to be on the same cabinet. It doesn't seem like a smart move to me to have two separate cabinets with two different, just the games list doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you're going to have something that's going to be powerful enough to run Street Fighter 3 and all of its iterations, you got Second Strike on here and all that. You got Third Strike, Red Earth. I mean, if it's powerful enough to run CPS 3, they can run all that other stuff. I mean, it's powerful enough to run Naomi. I mean, that's another thing. Is this what version? Is it going to be a good, clean version of of Marvel vs. Capcom 2? A real version, the real ROM, or something modified like Acade1up did? Why wouldn't you just include all that on one cabinet? And the shape overall doesn't seem quite right. It seems a little bit too bar top high. There's way too much going on at the bottom. The proportions aren't quite correct. I mean, not by a long shot. So it just doesn't seem like it's necessarily correct. But it does seem too on the nose. And so the more you look at it, it just doesn't quite fit. And then also when you think about his aesthetic, his design, this is the guy that was all about Steve Aoki. Remember that first two-player countercade? That art style, that urban kind of style, graffiti kind of look. I think that would be more what John would go for. This seems to be very plain to me. This almost seems generic, really. Are you ready? Go. I mean, I know that's what they say in the game, but that's not, I can tell you this, that's not going to be the tagline. At least I don't think that's going to be the tagline. I don't think it's going to be the tagline of his new venture. I think it's gonna be something else. It could be different, but that just doesn't seem right to me. So while I thought this was, I was like, oh, that's the dude, this is real. My initial reaction, that's what that was, because it seemed very John D. The more I think about it, I think it's why it's not. So John D says it's not, so you got to kind of go with what he says. But he could also be covering up, right? It could be deflecting, it could be a big mystery, it could be a big deflection, he's lying to cover up the truth, and then they're going to have to scramble and change things up. Or we could just kind of take him at his word and say, listen, this is not what I'm bringing to market. And then if it is what he's bringing to market and he just lied about it, we're all going to know about it. So I tend to think he's not lying about it. Because if it's this far along and we're going to see something next year and that's the design, we're going to say, John, what are you talking about? Why'd you lie to us? That's not a good look. But so after all this happened and I started thinking, oh, maybe this isn't right, I did reach out to somebody else, not John D. And I did have confirmation that that's not accurate. That's not accurate. So while I don't know what it is, I've been told by somebody else working with John D that is not accurate. That's not it. So what this does do, whether you believe it or not, what this does do is generate interest and excitement in this new startup called Media1up. If we're already got people either leaking actual material or faking material that's leaked, isn't that interesting? So I think what it does, it boosts the Media1up conversation. It boosts the algorithm. It's going to be out there in the ether. It's going to be on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and all that. Everybody's going to be talking about it. So, I mean, I guess it is possible that John faked it so to get people talking about it so that it would do that. Or maybe some idiot was trying to do something to torpedo the company. But I think in the long run is going to actually end up, catapulting it and helping it more than actually hurt it. So it's a long-winded way of saying, guys, I think that's fake. I wanted to be honest with you. I didn't think that in the beginning. I'm like, oh, that's real. Oh, look, that's just what John D would do. But that's not it, guys. That's not it. So if your heart was set on that, I'm sorry, but that's not going to be it. That's not going to be it. There's other things going on out there, and I can't wait to see exactly what's going on. I hope that if I can get something, if I can listen, I'm asking, guys. I'm snooping around. I know John D may be watching. I don't care. I'm sneaking. I'm snooping. I'm trying to find something. I want to share something with everybody. So as soon as I know something, I'm gonna let you know, and it'll be real. It'll be a real leak, for real. All those games are good and would sell. Still a boring cabinet, especially with the new collection. Yeah, I agree 100%. It kind of devalues it because that collection's coming out, and with online play and all that. Might as well put out his own Pac-Man version at that point. I think it's not quite as bad as Pac-Man, but I get your point. It's kind of been done to death. That's the only problem with Capcom. They got some great games, and there used to be some rarity around some of these games, but that's just not the case anymore. There's just more ways to play these now. I mean, I think it's a good thing. The consumer wins, right? You can just go and you can download this for $50. Or you can buy a physical disc for $50 and play it in your PlayStation or get it on Switch, and you can probably scratch that itch. You don't have to buy a cabinet, If you wanted to buy a little cabinet, Acade1up came out with the one with the riser. Then they came out with X-Men 97. Those games are on there. If you want to play those games, knock yourself out. There's other ways to play. So to come out with that now wouldn't be big and shocking and a lot of surprise. It'd be like, oh, okay, we've seen this before, and then you're going to end up like splitting hairs. Like, oh, this version's better than that version and all that. I just don't know if it would have really the punch to get everybody excited about Media1up. So hopefully he's got something different up his sleeve. John D is for this community. Just remember that everyone, when he does finally release an arcade, for us, just know that it is going to be the best machine that we would ever want. We need to trust John. Definitely a John D fan for sure. Israel Gaming. I think listen, everybody has their pluses and minuses. Not everybody is perfect. Some people like John. Some people don't like John. Probably all justified. But I think he's definitely got a passion for this. More fighting games than beat 'em ups, but he knows beat 'em ups. It's like he doesn't know. So he knows. I'm more of a kind of a beat 'em up fan, but I do really enjoy the fighting games. Not because I'm good at it, but because I do just enjoy them overall. But yeah, I think that he's going to bring something legit. I hope anyway. Now, in a few months, we could be talking about something completely different. I'll be disappointed. But the online play, that's the thing that Acade1up should have nailed, but they didn't. And now Capcom's just going to do it the right way. And you're going to have the infrastructure that exists on PlayStation and Nintendo. And you're going to be good there. Plus all the other mechanics and features for sure. C Marvel 360 says, but Fox, hasn't there been other ways to play every single arcade game that has been done? I bought Miss Pac-Man and Galaga on Xbox for $5, but I still bought a cab for $4.99. How many cabinets did you buy? How many Pac-Man cabinets did you buy? How many Miss Pac-Man cabinets did you buy? Did you buy 2 or 3 or 5 of the same cabinet? Excuse me. My point with the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet that's in that picture is that almost the exact same cabinet exists now. Like, it doesn't have the same artwork and doesn't have the same shape, but all those games exist now. And if you just bought it, you just paid $500. So it's less compelling without unique games, because we're not talking about $5. We're talking about, I don't know how much this is going to cost. $600, $700, $800, $1,000. Who knows? Who knows what we're talking about? And as that price increases, you get very discriminating once you get to a certain price point. All of a sudden, like, well, do I really need that? Do I really need it? So everybody's different, see Marvel. Everybody's different. I hope it's a racing game. I hope it's Golden Tee. That's what I want. I want John D, Media1up to release Golden Tee. Finally, we'll have what we've always dreamed of. In Wayne's World, voice X. Excellent. Yeah, well, listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. You win some, you lose some. Oneup Underground says John D did say he wanted another shot at a PCB that would handle MVC2 with rollback. Maybe that's it. And then maybe this is true. But then the question still remains. Is it going to be enough for you to pull the trigger and buy it? I don't know. Only you can answer that. I don't think it's going to make the splash that a new game would. So maybe if all these games are on the same cabinet, maybe that would make a bigger splash. Maybe that would get more attention. All those games on one cabinet would be really cool. Maybe all the games on the same cabinet, but you can get it skinned in either Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or Street Fighter 3. So you have two different artwork variants. But I think it's going to be more compelling to put new games on there, in my opinion. I got my opinions. You get yours. Doug Wynn says, just got the Hori fighting stick for my Switch. Wednesday will be a fun day after work for me. Hell yeah. It's going to be awesome, man. And that might be enough for Doug, but that might be not enough for you. So it just depends. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. Did Rextra break a fake? Man, I have no idea. You'd have to see what the. I don't watch his channel. I don't know. Is he the one that broke it? Maybe he is. That's the case. Man, talk to him. See where he got the leak from. See if he printed it himself. I have no idea. Golden D. Yes, that might be a different show. Don't look that up on the internet. Don't type that in your search engine. Also, we got to see what's going on. We can't have a show without talking about Acade1up. Let's go on over to their website and see what's going on with the web. Oh, damn. They still got all the ads. But there is something else going on with Acade1up besides all the ads on the screen. They've got a new affiliate program. Yay! Just 5 years too late. That's all. New affiliate. So they were out at an expo. Let me go ahead and show you. This is the collab cab that they had there. VidMart. It was sort of a collaboration with that conference about content creators and all that. And they had this. It looks like a YouTube themed cabinet. Not exactly sure what the game is on there. I don't know if the splash screen, if that's something just unique or if that's just static and it's not a real game. I have really no idea, but it looks like X-Men. X-Men 97 cabinet, maybe. I have no idea. But that cabinet was there with the contrasting covers. That's got to be X-Men 97, or at least that version, because it's got these screw hole covers on the control panel. But this was there, not really anything new, just kind of a generic thing, whatever. But they did also announce, if you were there, they had a QR code. James breaks the internet. James hates everything broke the story. At least he's the one that I saw covering it. And while you were at the conference, you could scan the QR code and get a link to this page on their website, and you could become an Acade1up affiliate. So go watch James Hates Everything's live stream about this. He goes into this in a lot more detail, but basically you click on that and you can fill out this form. And for all YouTube creators, TikTokers, Instagram models, whoever, they really want to know your information, but they really want to know how many followers you have, what's your audience, which makes sense. They've got categories from everybody under 50,000 and then beyond. And of course, the bigger content creators with the bigger audience are going to get the priority. To be fair, that's the way it should be. If you're going to partner with a bunch of people, if you have 1,000 applicants, let's say they do this, and 1,000 people flood their inbox, you've got to be able to chop it up some way, somehow. And you got to start with, I think audience size is a good way to go. If they want to get the most bang for their buck, if they've got 5 giveaway units, would they give it away to me? I have 13,000. I have almost 13.5, right? or somebody with 500,000 subscribers. Probably going to go with that person, right? Because they've got the bigger audience, they've got the bigger channel, more exposure. That makes sense. So I'm not really hating on them for that. I really don't have any problem with that at all. Yes, that's where I would be. Way under 50K for sure. They never ask what their niche is, which I think is funny. Yeah, 13.4. I'm almost 13.5. I'm 13.495. I'm like 5 away. I actually dipped into 13.5 and then dropped back out by 5. I got to get back up there. So subscribe and help me reach that goal. But am I mad about this? No, but I think that it's just, where was this at in the beginning when you were growing your brand? Where was this when the company was brand new? And you had a lot of excitement that already existed on YouTube. Now, I was always one of the smaller channels. I probably never would have been selected for the affiliate program. I'm not necessarily mad about that. But I think that there's a lot of good content creators out there that should have been selected for this. They should have been able to be a part of it and then get their hands on the stuff. And then, you know, we could still have the same debate. Well, you got the cabinet for free. Do you really like it, or you just wanted to get stuff for free? I mean, that conversation's never going to go away. And you should always question the motives of everybody you watch. You just should. It's just the right way to be. Like I said, that conversation would never go away, regardless of who we're talking about. And in the beginning, how exciting would that have been to have all this new stuff coming out? That would have been incredible. And to have somebody, you know, in the community that had access to that would have been great. And we started that. We kind of had that with the Oneup Weekly. That was cool for a little bit. And then that show went away and other groups kind of came in and other content. I got the privilege of being part of the Red Cross event. That was awesome. That was fun. And got to be a part of that. Like I said, that was great. But it would have been nice to have this program back then when it was kind of new and rolling and getting started and you had all this stuff going on, right? That would have been awesome. But unfortunately, it just didn't pan out. So now that the company, for the most part, is on the downhill slide as far as new releases and new products and excitement, now they want to offer this. And, you know, I was watching James Hates Everything's live stream, and I said, you know, I made a comment. I'm like, well, okay, but what's the point of having an affiliate program if there's nothing to show off? So does that mean one or two things? Like, they're just doing this now just to try to promote the stuff that they already have, and they're just hoping that they can sell a lot of Infinity game tables if they get it in front of big channels, or get it on big channels in front of a lot of people? Or do they have something new? Is there something cooking in the kitchen, and they know they got to get it out there, and maybe it's going to be fewer products, so they want to get the most exposure possible? And 19K Fox can't quite get them there, and Michael B can't quite get them there, and P-Dubs can't quite get them there. So they got to go with somebody bigger. Could they find an RGT 85? Could they win him back? Could they bring him back over? I know he said the company's done, but could they possibly entice him to come back? And if they could, a lot of eyes on their product. That's a win for them. But I think it's just a little bit too late. I think that they had there was a culture, there was a community that was almost 100% positive for Acade1up in the beginning. We were so excited about the possibilities. And now we've seen those possibilities not come to fruition. And the creativity sort of skip and stutter and almost peter out in a lot of ways. And to the point now where very few of us are excited about what they're coming out with. We have our hopes and dreams and stuff we want to see, but we don't have a lot of confidence they're going to bring that to market, let alone do it well. So while this is great and this is fine, have your affiliate program. I hope that you get some big names and all that. I'm not going to be applying. Probably wouldn't be accepted anyway, to be fair. You know, it's just, it is what it is. It's kind of like Jada Pinkett Smith boycotting the Oscars. You wasn't going to win nothing. What does it matter? So I probably wouldn't be selected anyway. So it's okay. It's okay. I think there's a lot of toxicity now connected with Acade1up, at least in our small community. So I think it's probably best to stay back. Like I said, the only one I've really applied for is New Wave Toys. They wanted me back. They want it's Steps. Steps, you're here. You took the last one. You took the last affiliate with New Wave Toys. So I hope you're happy. I hope you can live with yourself. Yeah. John Hancock would be great. It would be a great one for them to do. They had Jay Wong. I don't know if they got him. They still got him or not, but that would be cool. More people in the gaming community. Metal Jesus Rocks, I think, did something with them. I think RGT85 is one of the better choices, but he kind of wrote him off. So I don't know if he's going to be willing to do that. So, I mean, listen, we'll see. But I think at the end of the day, you've got to have something that's interesting, especially for the big YouTubers, because remember, while you want them, you want that exposure, they want to continue to have their audience. And if they bring lame products and try to show that off to you and get you excited about it, they're going to lose that audience. The whole point of YouTube is to try to keep the audience that you have. So if they come out with something that's lame, something that's been out for a while, and if there's nothing new and inventive and crazy, and a lot of these big YouTubers want exclusivity. They don't want you to be sharing this with everybody else. They wouldn't want 19K Fox to have the same access as they do because they have 500,000 subscribers. So there's also that they're going to have to contend with. They're going to kind of lock them down and say, listen, if I don't have exclusivity, I'm not going to show it off. So good luck with that. Acade1up, I do think it's way too late. I think you would have had a lot more punch and excitement in the beginning. But hey, it is what it is. Is just another sign that Acade1up is just trying to struggle to remain relevant? Are they trying to maximize the stuff that they have now? Or is it possible? Is it possible that they're actually going to be bringing out something new, something inventive, something that maybe we've been waiting for this whole time? That would be incredible. But I'm not holding my breath. Would you look at that?
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
Okay, unfortunately, it is that time to go ahead and wrap it up. But before we do, I want to talk about the poll question. Members, stay right here. If you're a member of the channel, stay right here. You're going to be automatically redirected to the after show right after this. You'll be sent there. It'll be magic. If you want to be part of the magic, hit that join button, become a member. It's only $5 a month. You're going to get access to the after show where we have live discussions back and forth. Sometimes I'll bring on other guests. I have some interviews, and you're also going to have access to special members only videos, behind the scenes, sneak peeks at stuff I got going on, stuff that I'm cooking in my kitchen. Back to that quote, 156 votes. All right, not bad, guys. Going ahead and end the poll. The poll question was simply this. If this leak is true, waiting for it. Okay. If the Media1up leak is real, what do you think? Coming in the fourth spot was, I'll pass. They look like Acade1up's, 13%. 14% of you said, I'm going to buy the Street Fighter 3. I like that one. I'm about that. Only 14%. That's kind of crazy. 19% of you said, hey, I'm going to buy both. Really excited. That means a whopping 52%, over half of you said, I'll pass. I want something different. And I think that could be the biggest problem of all this, if this is real, is that I think a lot of us just want something different games. So while Street Fighter 3 could be something that moves some units, I think if John D, if Media1up just rehashes the same things that we've seen before, I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed. So I hope, for his sake, for our sake, that there is something new being brought to the market, something in a different size, maybe different form factor, but most importantly, new games. Everybody, don't work too hard this week. Y'all have a blessed week, and I will see all of you right back here next time. Peace. Hit the button.